Hello, everybody. Welcome back. All right, ladies and gents, let's just roll into it. We're gonna do a quick stream tonight. We'll make this one quick, just considering it's past 11, and there's not really too much to talk about today because there's not too much to react with the games tonight, considering the kind of games that they were tonight for both Game 1 of the Western Conference Final in the NBA and Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final in the NHL. We saw some blowouts. Simply put, we just saw some blowouts. And so I'm going to give my reaction to how those games ended. Because I only watched to a certain, like when it was 3-1 for the Panthers, like I stopped watching, like I knew the game was over. Then I had to go do other stuff. And I didn't get to watch the second half of the Thunder T-Wolves game. When I did leave, Timberwolves were up by 2. So something must have happened in the second half and the third quarter, which if I probably look up the box score here, let's see what the point differential. Yep, look at that. 32-18 in the third quarter. So it looked like another candid, explosive third quarter, and then an explosive fourth quarter too, to put more on them. 38 points in the fourth quarter, 32 points in the third quarter. So yeah, of course, like that's the right trajectory to have in these kind of games. I mean, he went 20, then 24, then 32, then 38. Abysmal third quarter for the T-Wolves. I'd say that third quarter, I haven't watched all the highlights. I'll probably watch the highlights again tomorrow, and we'll give a more clear-cut response and reaction tomorrow. But I'd put this loss probably on the third quarter. Let's look at some box scores too. Julius Randle, 28 points. Okay. Anthony Edwards, 18 points. Mike Conley, 7 points. Rudy Gobert, 2 points. Okay, I was gonna make a joke in one of my in my preview for this series of how I would say the shortcomings for the T-Wolves. It's either gonna be on Julius Randle or Rudy Gobert, not Mike Conley. Not gonna put that on him, but Rudy Gobert. 1 for 3 in shooting, 0 for 2 in the free throws, 2 points. Oh jeez. I know he's not a like a point scorer, but my gosh, 2 points, dude. Come on now. Dante DiVincenzo with 9, Alexander Walker with 8. Okay. Now let's see what's going on with the Thunder. Chet with 15. Jalen with an EN, 19. Shea with 31. Hartenstein with 12. Dort with 5. Alex Caruso with 9. Jeez, these guys are just they're too good. They're just too damn good. They're way too good. So that looks like that's going to be the reaction on that game. Is Thunder start out strong, get a 1-0 series lead on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous if I was Minnesota. And I know this is a huge overreaction because it's just one game, but Thunder are a solid team. They're a solid team. Like, just they're heavy favorites to win the NBA Finals. Just with who they are from top to bottom. Like, okay, Shea Gilgeous, he's going to have a wonderful series. Same with Anthony Edwards, but it's like, who's going to be that missing link? Who's going to be the weak one for the T-Wolves or for the Thunder? Like, you know, there's way too many guys. There's way too many guys on this Thunder team. Hopefully this isn't a sweep. I don't want to see. I mean, well, and the other thing too. I mean, I was kind of alluding to it a little bit. I touched base on it just a tiny bit. Is the T-Wolves eliminating the Warriors? You know, losing game 1, but then Curry got injured, and then putting 4 straight on him. I think it didn't do the T-Wolves any good because look at how they played against a full healthy Thunder squad. It didn't do them much good. So you can kind of look at it from that context where are these Timberwolves tried and tested? I think, they got through the Lakers fair and square. Yeah, they beat up on LeBron, they beat up on Luka, but they beat up on an injured Warriors squad. And if we look at last year's playoffs, even though they've kind of made up for it this year, talking about the Pacers, of course, the Pacers beat up on a whole bunch of injured teams, and then when they showed up to the Eastern Conference Finals, they got smacked around by Boston because they weren't that team and they weren't ready. I definitely think they're a lot different this time around, but when it's 88 to 114, it kind of shows you who was a little bit more prepared for this game. So that's my reaction on that. And then we'll switch over real quick. Let's talk about the NHL game. This one was not close, 5-2. I saw that stat where right now in the last 3 road games, the Panthers have outscored their opponents 17-4. So they are huge road dogs right now, and I think that's gonna be huge. And they stole one right now. Carolina does not have home ice anymore in this series unless, they go to Sunrise, Florida, and Carolina can steal one in Florida, which I do think they do. I'm not going to overreact and be wow, like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Because I'm still going to sit with this thing's going to leave Florida after Game 4 tied at 2 apiece. Like, I still think Carolina can bounce back, win Game 2. Could it possibly zigzag the whole way? Maybe not. If they do zigzag all the way to Game 7, that'd be fun. But I do still have a feeling Panthers take Game 1. Hurricanes probably take Game 2 and 3, but then we leave Florida tied at 2 apiece, and then it becomes a best of 7. But today, this game was over after, halfway through the second period. I mean, let's look at the box score. Let's go here to the game cast. So Sebastian Aho, made it 2-1. But then after Greer had his goal and it was 3-1. Oh gosh. Then it turned into 4-1, 5-1. I missed the whole third period. So Sam Bennett got in, Luosterainen got in, so 5-1. And then Jackson Blake made it 5-2. So game was pretty much over 6 minutes. 6 minutes into the third. So I don't think panic is on the mind of Carolina right now. I think this is definitely one of those games that is a good steal when you look at this series, because Anderson, and I've given a lot of credit to all of the goalkeepers in this playoff, whether it's Anderson, Bobrovsky, Ottinger, or Skinner. All of these goalies are playing really good. And what this game, it being 5-2, it says, my overreaction would be, this is a lot more than just a win. It's breaking Anderson, it's taking him away from his mojo. Like, Sergei Bobrovsky giving up 2 goals tonight, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't think Bobrovsky has given up, especially with the past 3 road games. I don't think he's given up more than 2 goals a game for the past Game 7, Game 1, Game 7, Game 6, Game 5. So it's been a handful of games. He hasn't had 3 put on him, so he's playing his best hockey. Anderson was playing his best hockey, and he was stopping everything that was thrown at him. That the Capitals tried to push on him, but it didn't go anywhere. Because now we got a whole new series, and look at what's going on. It's 5-2. He's letting everything through. Let me see shots on. 20 shots. Only 20 shots and 5 went through. So I don't think he's going to get benched. No way in hell. But this is definitely a game that you want to put in the back of your mind. Forget right away, because it's not going to help them in the long run. Hits were pretty even, 49-48. Penalty minutes. I'll have to double check on this. I don't know if penalty minutes is for or against, because Carolina had 8 penalty minutes. So does that mean they, how do I word this? Like, Florida gave up 22 minutes of penalty time versus Carolina. So, like, Florida gave up 22 minutes of power play. So, like, Carolina kept going on the power play. Or am I reading that wrong, where Florida was actually on the power play for 22 minutes and had so many shots on goal? Again, this is like little context of watching stuff. Bobrovsky, 31 saves. Carter Verhaeghe, he started out, he was the first one to score. But yeah, reigning Stanley Cup champs, Florida Panthers beat Carolina 5-2 in the East final opener. these teams like this, and this is a huge overreaction too, considering this is just the first game and it's just one. But this is kind of the vibe and feeling, kind of how it was when they met up in 2023, where Florida has their number, and they're playing good hockey right now. They really, really are, and it probably benefited Florida more going through Tampa and then going through Toronto versus the Canes, who had to go through. Oh, who'd the Canes? Oh shit! Who did Carolina play in the first round? Let me double check. I can't even remember who they played in the first round. Oh, New Jersey. So they played the Jersey Devils, and then they played the Washington Capitals. So it's like I will give them credit on getting through the Capitals, but they, considering who they've played up until this point, heavy favoritism goes towards Florida, just because we troll and we'll clown on the Leafs for being a crappy team, and another playoff exit, another this, another that, but they still were a pretty good team. So all right, let's float around here. Let's go to the MLB. Let's see if there's anything big in the MLB. Yankees beat the Rangers 5-2. Ohtani is going to pitch a little bit with rehab going on. Nope, nothing too big or crazy in the MLB world. Let's keep it rolling. Let's see if there's any other news with the NBA. Oklahoma City's defense lives up to the identity in dominant game one. Well, yeah, it's very true. Edwards, optimistic Wolves will, quote, figure it out. Well, you better figure it out pretty damn quick, or this thing's going to be 2-0 going back to Minnesota. And then we got the Pacers versus Knicks tomorrow. I think the Knicks can sneak out game one. We'll see. Well, I think that series, a lot of it is going to depend on who. And I know they say that because that's the stereotype of, okay, this series officially starts once the home team loses. But I really could see the Pacers series going as something where the road team wins every game. Or the home team wins every game. So we'll see how game 3 and 4 go. And I think game 3 and 4 will probably steer the way the Knicks Pacers series goes. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, this thing's going 7." I kind of think it might be 6 or 5. I really do. I think whoever can capture games 2 and 3, and let's say the Knicks start out hot, they win game 1, Pacers bounce back, steal game 2 and 3. Hay might be in the barn, and they might gentleman sweep from there, because they'll win 2 games at home and then go steal 1 in New York. I don't know. These games still need to be played, though. I'll probably give a reaction to, because I got to give a preview, prediction, all that, to the Eastern Conference Final and the Western Conference Final, both in the NBA and the NHL. So stay tuned to that, because it's coming out. It's coming out. I promise I'll sound a little bit more authentic, a little bit more professional in my predictions for how I think that series could go out and how it will eventually turn out. So let's see. Let's roll now to, let's do college football. Do we got any college football? Belichick on coaching at UNC. I learned something every day. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Nothing too big, nothing too scary in the college football. We're kind of sitting in limbo. Basketball, I will say this, and I'll probably make a video on it, that Arkansas's Boogie? No. Yeah, what is his name, Boogie? Yeah, Boogie Fland. Arkansas's Boogie Fland transferring to the defending champs, Florida Gators. I think it's a good move for him personally. I like how he's going to come back, play another year, and then he'll go to the draft. He's going to get drafted. I think there are a lot of prospects, and there's a lot of guys in the tournament this past season who, yeah, the Hornets, the Wizards, Jazz, they're probably going to go get picked up. And with where Arkansas was at the end of the year, they upset St. John's. We had Coach Cal against Coach Patino in the March Madness again. But I think Arkansas had a 7 or 8 man rotation, and he was one of the guys in that 7-8 man rotation, and he was playing impactful basketball. It might have not shown up on the stat sheet all the time, but like he did make an impact in a lot of games that they won. So good on him. I think Florida's definitely going to bounce back, and I think Florida can make another deep run. Sitting right now, I would say SEC basketball is in some good hands. I mean, you got Bama, you got Auburn, you got Florida. Um, I don't want to say the SEC is what the ACC and the Big East have been for the past decade. And like, oh, SEC balls here. No, not exactly. Not just yet, but we'll see. I mean, Tennessee has had some good years. So I would say maybe Big Ten, I would say Big Ten and the SEC are kind of even level for me right now, at least personally. But again, we'll just see. This season's got to play out. The SEC, the SEC had some dogs this year, and there were a lot of good teams. We saw it all season with Denai Broom. So yeah. Okay, let's move now. Latest bracketology, UConn emerges as number 1 seed for the 2025-2026 season. A little bit of way too soon. You know how they do the way too soon stuff for predictions? That's probably what that is. Which I am waiting, and I am eagerly anticipating for when college football finally, guts up a little bit and they post their, what's the word I'm looking for? Not predictions, rankings. There's parts of me that wants to give, and I will give a top 25 prediction, but they're gatekeeping these spring highlights, but it's because it's not in the traditional sense of how a spring game is. Like if it's Oklahoma, red versus white, it's just a lot of one-on-ones, pass pro. Like it's not the traditional sense of a spring game, but I think the reason and the explanation actually does make a lot of sense, and I'm actually in favor for it, even though it kind of hurts me from like a point of view of like, yeah, no, I can't catch a flight and go catch Notre Dame's spring game, even though we could see Notre Dame's spring game on the TV, but like, yeah, I can't catch a flight, go catch Texas Tech, Virginia Tech, Florida, FSU, any of these spring games. They're not showing them as much as they used to, and the reason why is to prevent people from poaching in the portal. And I think that's actually, I think commends like applaud and good, like instead of like condemning, condemn. Okay, we're learning new language here, but I think, oh gosh, which coach? There was a coach who came out and said we're not going to do. It was Matt Rule. It was Matt Rule for Nebraska, I think, who said. I think he was the first one who said we're not going to do it this year, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what the hell? Why not?" And the reason why is because people will watch coaches and coordinators. They'll watch these springtime games and they'll circle, "Hey, number 15 did really good. Hey, number 18 did really good," and it's like, well, what's number 18's name? And they'll find out, oh, this is third string guy on a depth chart. Second string guy on the depth chart, and they'll go poach, and they'll realize, hey, we know you're not getting all the reps for Arkansas. How about you come over here a little bit? We'll give you more of a chance. And I think they'll look more into that. And I think once college football has a commissioner, all of that stuff will be fixed. And I think the integrity of college football will fix itself eventually, because I think right now we're in the wild, wild west of it, where you just throw money at players and stuff happens. Like I think programs like Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, USC, I could throw UCLA up there too, Oklahoma, Clemson. Like, let's be real here. These teams should be winning the national championship every single year. These teams, Penn State, Notre Dame too, these teams should be in the 12 team every single year, because like those are blank checks that they're signing, where there's no kind of like salary cap on this is how much money we need to make, and this is how much money we're allowed to pay for our roster. And so right now it's kind of wild where, yeah, there are players signing multiple millions of dollars, which I'm fine with. Like, I don't care. That's totally fine. But I think with how it was before NIL was a thing where, yeah, top recruits go to Ohio State. Top recruits want to go play for Saban. Top recruits want to go play for Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart. This weird wild, wild west is going to happen probably for the next, until the sophomores or the freshmen right now are seniors. And I think it's going to traditionally go back to the sense of how it was where, okay, everybody has their money now. And now it's going to go back to who's going to win. Who do we know is going to win? Yeah, it'd be a fun story to tell, to load up a 5-star quarterback, 2 5-star receivers, some 4 and 3-star defensive guys to build a solid unit. Yeah, it'd be fun to throw all those guys on Virginia Tech or Marshall or Boise State and pay for your roster. But, like, at the end of the day, sometimes the program's not going to be able to make this money, and the money's going to run out eventually. And so I think it's going to go back to the traditional sense of, yeah, Bama might be back on top. Now, there's an asterisk to that because Nick Saban's not there anymore. And we'll see how Kalen DeBoer does with the Tide. This last year kind of struggled, but, like, Kirby Smart will own the SEC again. I think Sarkisian with Texas. We'll see if Venables is still the head coach for Oklahoma in the next 2-3 years. But, like, I think once all the players start to get paid again, and things smooth out, like, I think the rough edges of how, everybody's going everywhere. Like, let's look at Nico Iamaleava, for example. We're going to get it to a situation where, I don't think that's going to happen again because players will realize, okay, we're not bigger than the program, which is pretty good. But then B, they'll realize, okay, I'm getting paid anyways. I might as well sit here and, work my way up on a depth chart as a true freshman to play for the Scarlet and Red, or, I might as well earn my stripes in Ann Arbor. Because, like, for example, Bryce Underwood. Let's take Bryce Underwood. He was paid $19 million, I believe, by El Presidente from Barstool. $19 million might be a little bit of an exaggeration, and that might be too much money, but it's like, if I was Bryce Underwood, I would just be playing ball to play ball. Like, there's no need, like, again, easier said than done, because of how much millions and millions of dollars he's making. Like, to me, there's no reason why he would want to even flirt with the idea of going to USC or Tennessee or UCLA, Purdue, Northwestern, Wisconsin, wherever, Oregon, even though they might have blank checks. Like, no, you got your money now. We know the trajectory of which way Michigan's going. Stay there for a little bit. See what happens. Be the reason why they win another national championship. Be the reason why they have another Heisman winner. So it's going to be crazy right now, and it's going to probably get a little bit crazier. But I think give it 3 more years, I think it'll eventually, the dust will start to settle. And I think we're even seeing that now where the dust is kind of settling with, you look at teams like, everybody was saying Arizona State was a feeder school. Everybody was saying Washington State was a feeder school. But, like, you got Cade Klubnik, who's been playing at Clemson his whole career, and he stayed there. You got Drew Aller, who's coming into his 23, 24, 20, his third year at Penn State. He's going to play it out. You got Nussmeier for LSU. So I think the big programs that were there, we're seeing it right now. They got returning starters, and how'd they get them? They recruited them. So it'll all fizzle itself out. Sorry, I rambled a little bit on that tangent and that point, but hopefully the point got across. Let's now talk a little bit about the NFL, and then we'll wrap up the stream. If you guys have any sports takes, let me know in the comments section, and I'll try to answer it at the end of the show. Okay, let's do so the NFL. NFL stars and Olympic flag football. Why some are hesitant. So this one, the NFLPA has been meeting because they do their off-season meetings and stuff. And one of the meetings that they had today is they're working on passing and letting the Olympic players, letting the athletes in the NFL play in the Olympics. And the other one they're working on is the tush push, which I think if they made a clear final verdict on the tush push, we would have seen it on ESPN. So what it tells me is they haven't come to a final verdict, and we'll probably have one tomorrow because they said they were going to meet on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I think we'll figure out a little bit more about it tomorrow. Honestly, I think the tush push is here to stay. I don't think they get rid of it. It's a routine play. It's a routine football play. But we'll just see. I think they need to get a certain number of votes, and hopefully, I mean, if you're a coach, like for example, Coach Sirianni, he just signed the extension with the Eagles, and I've heard it, whether it's Matt LaFleur or Sean McVay talking about it, where some of the coaches are buttering up other coaches to like, come on, sign this or that to ban it. Like, I don't think the coaches that do sign for or do sign against it, I don't think they should be punished. Like, I really don't. And I don't think, even with the amount of peer pressure, like if the final three coaches are, take your kneecaps off Dan Campbell, Nick Sirianni, and Andy Reid, who are like, no, let's, all other 29 coaches are like, no, let's ban it. But then you still have three coaches who are like, no, let's keep it around. I don't think those three should face punishments for it. Like, I think, it should be something where it's like, okay, it's up for discussion. Okay, we had a final verdict. Okay, it's done. Because it's a fun play. It's a fun play. You can't lie and say you don't like it. And the other thing too is, if you ban it, you're kind of admitting that the Eagles just found a glitch in the system, and you're just basically saying Eagles are too good at football. We got to ban this play. And so, I think it'd be silly to punish Jalen Hurts. It'd be silly to punish Saquon Barkley for being so successful with that play. I mean, Jalen Hurts squats over 600 pounds. There's a reason why that play works. When you got five, now all the linemen are pretty much the same size in the NFL, but when you got five particularly with the Eagles, because the Eagles have a very successful line. I think you look at some of the successful lines in the past, the Cowboys have had a pretty good line. You look at the Lions, you look at the Bears, with who the Bears brought on to help out Caleb Williams. Like, if Caleb Williams wants to get down and dirty, considering who they brought in, I guarantee you they could do the tush push and it'd be pretty successful. But again, it comes down to the quarterback too. Does the quarterback want to put his head down, and get that extra yard and a half? And Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that wants to do that. Do I see Aaron Rodgers doing that? No. Dude's old. He doesn't want to get broken. Do I see Mahomes doing it? Probably not. Lamar? No. Because what Lamar would do is, you would know the tush push is coming, but because of how freaking fast he is, he'd take the snap, but then tail it around the tackle and get in on the outside. Who else? I think Baker would. I think Baker's a little bit bigger than Jalen, or they're the same size. I don't know why I have a feeling like Baker would get eaten alive if the Bucks line tried it. But you can't throw. If you have a shitty old line, you're not going to run that play. It's half of it is you have a good line, and then the other half is you have a damn good quarterback. So, yeah. So it sounds like they tabled it. We'll see final verdict on tomorrow. But again, it's a routine play. It's a routine play, and I hopefully, they don't ban it. Other headlines, stuff that was announced, because this was breaking news. I saw on my lunch break that the NFL is allowing the players to play in the Olympics. Vikings, Justin Jefferson dreams of winning Olympic gold. Eagles downplay the tush push. Import as votes loom. And then there's something on GT, and then there's a thing on Burrow, which we'll talk about it. I will admit, I jumped onto the hype train of the idea of NFL players playing in the Olympics, and I was like, no, it's not smart. Injury. And then I kind of took a seat and I thought about it a little bit more and like gave it some time. They're not forced to play. Like I was kind of looking at it from it's like no, Justin Jefferson, you will play in the Olympics, but it's like these players have the choice if they want to go or not. Like you look at Kawhi, you look at Kevin Durant, who were some other players for Team USA, Simone Biles back in the 2021 Olympics. Like some of these players can just choose not to go. Um, Now, will they probably get clowned and roasted by their teammates? Probably. But, I mean, if I was Justin Jefferson and I just got a huge contract extension because this is 3 summers from now. Who's to say Justin Jefferson still wants to be with the Vikings? Because what if in the summer of 2028, um, gosh, A.J. Brown wants out of town. And so they're like, okay, we'll have you go here. We'll bring Justin Jefferson in for Jalen Hurts, or what's another team that could be on the up and up? The Rams? No, I think Stafford will be gone by then. Denver? Justin Jefferson playing, in the Mile High with Bo Nix. So, like, there's kind of that, too, where, like, yeah, if the Broncos just paid you a 5-year deal over $100 million, maybe you're having second thoughts on going and playing in the Olympics. But I think it does sound like a good idea for the NFL players to play in it. But again, they got to make that choice. I did also throw out the idea of, you go have high school athletes go compete because we know we have them. And then I also threw out the idea of you could get UFL players to go, considering if we don't want to deal with NFL players getting injured. And then retired veterans. Like, I think D-Hop by then will probably be retired. Tyler Lockett. If Darrell Revis sheds a couple pounds, maybe he could go compete. Richard Sherman. So I think... I think retired guys could go and compete. I think that'd be fun. But I think with how they passed and they let NFL guys go, I kind of have a feeling they will. NFL guys will go. And I think the other thing that's interesting too is I want to look at rosters because basketball is totally different. Like, the nationality of a player is kind of more in the forefront with basketball. Like when we talk about Nikola Jokic, we're like, yeah, he's from Serbia and stuff. And like when we talked about Dirk Nowitzki, we talked about, where he came from, the Greek freak. We call Giannis the Greek freak because he's, from Greece. And so I guess I kind of just totally forgot, like, yeah, there are NFL players that are Canadian. There are NFL players that are, like outside of America, even though it's like, and the NFL is like the epitome of like American sports. But hopefully flag football can kind of, I don't think it will because it's still at the end of the day flag football. Hopefully it can have a little bit of competitive juices, like how Four Nations was. Like I think Four Nations set the tone and the precedence for All-Star games for the near future. I really do. Like, and leave it up to hockey, leave it up to hockey to do that because I think, because I saw an article forever ago where it said that the NHL has quietly shelved and canceled the 2026 All-Star break, and it's like, yeah, because you're going to bring Four Nations back, and you still might add some other countries like Denmark or the athletes of Russia or Germany, because you still got Draisaitl. Draisaitl didn't play. You got Ovi. Ovi didn't get to play. Sergei Bobrovsky didn't get to play. David Pastrnak didn't get to play. And so, like, I have kind of a feeling like, okay, we might add some more nations. Who the hell knows what they do with the NBA All-Star break or the NFL All-Star break? Because I liked the Pro Bowls. I really did. And I think the last good one was probably 2018 or the 2019 one. Because I do think when Yeah, when they went back to the AFC NFC format, like when they ditched the didn't they have like Deion Sanders and Carter one year like draft players or something? That's when they had the like the neon orange and neon yellow. But like once they ditched that format and went back to okay best on best for NFC and AFC, it did get a little bit better. But like the last one, guys don't want to hit, and I get that. So I can see why they moved away from padded to do flag football, but it's still flag football. And I know that sounds so bad, but like it's flag football. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. It's two totally different sports. So I could be wrong. I could be easily wrong. Where holy cow, this is a lot more. Nah, okay, I can't say it'd probably be a lot more entertaining, but I mean, hey, hell, if the guys have fun and they're safe, then who gives a shit? All right. Okay, Ashton GT, offensive coordinator Chip Kelly, wants me to ditch quote-unquote Halloween sins. I don't think he should. I think Ashton GT should do whatever the hell he wants because that's what got him drafted in the first place. And the the nonchalant stance that he had, we know what's going to separate Ashton GT from the rest of the pack is I kind of compare him to Le'Veon Bell, where he's not going to hit the hole like Derrick Henry. He's just not. He's going to preserve his body and he's going to preserve the hits just because of his size and stature. But I could see GT being a slow, methodical runner where he waits and then attacks the hole right away. That's what Le'Veon Bell mastered. Alvin Kamara as well. Who else kind of? AJ Dillon a little bit. Where just kind of like there's running headstrong like Derrick Henry or Isaiah Pacheco or Christian McCaffrey. But then there's also like there's types of running and there's types of running being a running back, and I think with his size and stature probably being the slow, methodical, wait till your guard pulls around. Like we know the video of like Le'Veon Bell like literally putting his hands on his offense and like kind of pushing him like, okay, we'll ride this out and then pop to the outside. It was very successful, and so I think I know GT might not have the final say. Well, actually, hell yeah, he has the final say because he's on the field. But like, look, I know Chip Kelly's a successful coach, successful coordinator, but like, if this is your bread and butter and this is what got you here, don't ditch it. Don't ditch it all of a sudden. Like, whether you're Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, and all the quarterbacks that got drafted in, don't all of a sudden go, Kate, you're throwing it like this. We need you to throw it like that. We need you to throw it like don't ditch what got you here all of a sudden. If there's little techniques on how to, like if you're a receiver or a corner, like yes, you have to adapt to the game by measuring your cuts, your footwork. Like yes, that kind of stuff can be debated and changed, but like stance. We're overreacting on a stance. Hell, even I'm overreacting on a stance where it just sounds silly. So that's my thoughts on that. And then last one here for the NFL. Burrow. Another night game at the Ravens, quote, isn't ideal. Well, when the Ravens and the Bengals get together, it's always a good game. I think this has let me double check. I don't think this is excuse me. Is this a Sunday Night Football game? Yep, Sunday Night Football, NBC. Oh, it's the Sunday after Thanksgiving too, so it's like Thanksgiving road game, not ideal for the Bengals. So it's Joe Burrow. Yes. Oh, isn't it no, hold on. Holy shit, is it it's the Thanksgiving game, is it? Yeah, okay. I guess Thanksgiving is on the 27th. I totally didn't know that. Orlovsky, Bengals aren't Super Bowl contenders without Hendrickson. I agree. And they're also not Super Bowl contenders without Hubbard as well, but he decided to retire. Yeah. Oh, like I love the Bengals and I want to root hard for the Bengals this year, but they're going nowhere. They're going nowhere with that defense. They need to. Hopefully these picks work, and hopefully these picks benefit them in the long run. Um, that's my thoughts on that. We still haven't done, and I feel really bad. If you've been following along closely, I still haven't done my reaction to the NFL draft. Like I haven't been pushing out videos on. Here's my honest takes and honest thoughts on Travis Hunter going to the Jaguars. Here's my honest take, honest thoughts on Cam Ward playing for the Titans. Like I haven't. This channel's been very fluid. Of we'll cover hockey, we'll cover basketball, we'll cover whatever. But I haven't stuck to football. That will definitely change. I want to double check the Titans record. Because Cam Ward's got some tough games coming up. I think their week 1 game is against the Broncos. And I don't think the Broncos are going to be a slouch this year. Yep, Titans at Broncos versus Rams. Very well could be 0-2 to start the season. Versus Colts, 1-2. At the Texans, 1-3, maybe 2-2. At the Cardinals, 1-4. At the Raiders, I could see them beating the Raiders. I really could. I'm not bought in on Geno. I'm really not bought in on Geno Smith or Sam Darnold. I know they swapped player for player. No, Sam Darnold didn't come from the Raiders. He came from the Vikings. But like, I want to be bought in on Sam Darnold and Geno Smith and Tyrod Taylor and Taylor Heineke and Fitzmagic. But like, they're journeymen. They're journeymen in the NFL. Like, I think Carson Wentz. Let's use Carson Wentz. I'd say the Chiefs are a lot better having Carson Wentz if Mahomes gets injured, but like, Patriots loss at Colts. I think they could split with the Colts 1-1. I think they lose both of them to the Texans, and with the Jags, I think they could split 1-1. But if not, lose both too. But at the 49ers loss versus the Chiefs loss versus the Saints. Potentially a W. This one's after Christmas. Versus the Seahawks. I could see that being a win. So 5 wins, 6 wins. We'll look more deeply into this. Schedule later. Because I got I would love to do a stream on this. I want to do a stream where I don't know if I should do a stream where we predict all the games, all the teams, or just cut it up and stuff. I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything else in the worldwide sports? Phillies beat the Rockies. Tigers beat the Cardinals. Aren't the Tigers like the hottest team in the MLB right now? MLB's most surprising team so far. Well, I might as well click on this link. Oh, look at that, the thumbnail team. Wait. Oh. Here, let me fix the music. Okay. Fix the music up a little bit. Sorry, it's come to that point. I accidentally deleted the music file that I have on the backtrack, so we'll definitely have to fix that later. Detroit Tigers sitting at 31-17. Who else is hot right now? Cardinals 27-21. Giants 28-20. Guardians 25-21. The A's 22-26. Nah. I think the A's are going to fall off a little bit because it's good what they're doing now, but like we have seen this. like if you've followed baseball a little bit, like if you're a Reds fan, I know you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about because I felt this way. When Ellie De La Cruz came onto the scene, Votto was playing good, and the Reds were really good. They're good in the middle of the summer, but then after the 4th of July, some of these teams just like disappear. Diamondback fans, I know this probably hits close to home a little bit, but like the Diamondbacks, in excluding the year they went to the World Series back in 23, but like the Diamondbacks, I think it was when they first acquired Mad Bum in 22 or something, but they're really good in April. Like they start off strong in March when the season opens, but they're good in April and they're good in May. And then slowly when we turn into the summer in the middle of June, they just start to slide back into their usual spots in the West. I believe they're in the West Division. Because we know that division's going to go to the Dodgers. And if not to the Dodgers, Padres? I don't know. Okay, let's look at some standings in the MLB, and then we'll call it a stream. Phillies are leading the East. Cubbies are leading the Central. West is going to the Dodgers. They're sitting at 30-19. The West for the AL is going to the Mariners. Central to the Tigers and the Yanks. See, look at that. Boston was at the bottom, but now Boston has jumped up. Going 5-5 in their last 10. They've jumped up to the number 2 spot in the East. Yep. Sorry, I was yawning. Woo! It was no fun. This is no fun. Okay, let's see. I want to check one more thing. League overall. I want to see who has the best win streak right now. The Phillies and the Angels both tied at 5. Who has the worst? The O's have lost 8 in a row. The Athletics have lost 7 in a row. The team that has the best 10-game span, Phillies with 8-2. That makes sense. Angels are 7-3. Yanks are 7-3. Cubs are 7-3. Twins are 9-1. That's right. They did have their win streak that did end the other day. Who'd they lose to? Oh, the Brewers. They lost to the Brewers 5-2. Okay. All right, we're going to end it there. Okay, people on the shorts end. We're going to do a hard out, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked what you watched, be sure to hit that like button so you know where to come back to. But yeah, that's sports, baby. We'll catch you in the next one. Hey, look at that. We're back, baby. We're back. Those are some... Like to see it. Okay, let's do... Let's go over here. Let's close out of that. All right. Other than that, guys, we got nothing much. Let me close out that. We'll end the stream here. If the audio, I'll hear the audio feedback once the stream is over. Wow, this stream was over 50 minutes. I'm very surprised. I thought this was going to be a real short stream. I guess we made a little show out of it. Just considering how quick it could have been to come on here and say, okay, both game ones were a blowout. Let's not be surprised if game ones tomorrow are also a blowout. But impressed with what I saw out of the Thunder. Impressed with what I saw out of the Panthers. It clearly shows the difference of what a Stanley Cup defending team versus a team that's almost there. They're on the brink. But again, Panthers got to go win 4 more if they want to advance. So I'm not going to have any crazy overreactions. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Sorry, there was a thud and I was like, hello? Let me think. Anything else? Sorry, the stream was earlier. I guess we can say that as it's midnight. I was out and about. Do-gooder, doing good again. If you can name that movie, you're a real OG. But yeah, we'll end that. I'll there's a couple videos that I still want to make too. Where's my list? We're gonna make another video on a reaction of the NFL passing the ability to play in the Olympics. We might have a final verdict on the tush push tomorrow, so we'll probably do a video on that. We're gonna do because I'm losing it. It was on the tip of my tongue. With the NHL, I got to talk about the core four, and I got to make a video on Toronto and what I think is going to happen there, where Tavares, Marner, Nylander, Matthews, Riley. I'm going to make a video on that because that's what everybody's dunking on right now. On okay, what's happening as we have contracts pending and contracts looming. I'll give my 2 cents on it and say if it's like, okay, this is where I think this is what's going to happen. I'm kind of leaning towards, on paper, the Predators looked really good coming into the season. You got, you bring in Steve Stamkos from the Lightning, Marchessault from Vegas. You still got your goaltender. You're bringing in a new coach. So on paper, my brain's also like, yeah, bring Mitch Marner in, or bring, if the Rangers start to gut some of their guys, like let's just throw out Mika Zibanejad. Do I think Mika Zibanejad's going to leave the Rangers? Hell no. But it's like, yeah, bring in Mika Zibanejad, bring in Mitch Marner, bring in who's another team that got eliminated? I'm trying to think. Because I don't like Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson and Ovi are untouchable, and the Cavs are not going anywhere. But like my brain's thinking about those teams, and it's like, yeah, bring someone in. Let's see how it goes with the Preds, but it's not gonna happen. Preds got a long way to go. I penciled them in. Okay, a lot of people are gonna make fun of this. I penciled the Predators in as a dark horse. Again, this was before puck ever dropped for the 2024-25 season. Predators versus Stars. I thought it very well could have been an Western Conference final matchup, and then for the East, I had a rematch between the Rangers and the Panthers because I was leaning Rangers Stars. Sorry, holy shit, I'm tired. I was leaning Rangers Stars for Stanley Cup. We'll probably make one of those videos later where once we wrap up this season, I'll be like, throw it out there. Okay, give me Jets Canes. Well, that'll be the 2026 Stanley Cup. I don't know. But we'll just see. I think there's probably going to be some off-season moves, coaching changes, because we've already seen some. So, but yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on that. We'll try to keep this thing under an hour. I thank you guys for being here. I got nothing much else to say other than thanks for being here and thanks for all the support, leaving the likes and stuff. I'll catch you guys in another stream. See you later.